Hello, everybody. Welcome along. It is the Benjamin Bloom Football Show. Let yourself be known if you are watching live by getting your predictions in for this game we're covering tonight. Brentford versus West Brom, right at the top of the championship table. It is first versus fourth. We are back in the second game week since the restart. Game week number 39, 7 games to go, and this is a very, very big one. Hit that thumbs up button, get your comments in with your predictions for this one. Without further ado, let's have a look at the context and the league table. Then we'll have a look at the two teams, and you guys can let me know in the comments how you think this one will play out. We do not need to see the bottom of the table, so I will leave that there. Look, up at the top there, West Brom. They drew with Birmingham last time out, 71 points with 8 games to go. Brentford in fourth place, 63 points. If Brentford can get the win, things go a little bit tighter at the top. Remember, Leeds versus Fulham tomorrow. Some absolutely brilliant fixtures this week. That would close the gap to 5 points, and by God, a Fulham win tomorrow, and we would have an automatic promotion race. The flip side of that is that if West Brom can go to Griffin Park today and get the win, they will open up a 10-point gap over third place Fulham, even bigger 11-point gap over Brentford. This is a big game that Brentford really could do with winning, and West Brom could really do with not losing. Before we go to the team news and your comments, quick look at the form table. As Brentford in 7th. Remember, difficult to judge the form table because there's a 3-month gap between game number 5 and game number 6. So Brentford 2 wins on the bounce. Most importantly, though, they went to Fulham, first game back, clean sheet, win, and Benrahma on the score sheet. So all the things they would want. West Brom eased back in, but look, no wins in 3. Only 2 wins in those last 6, just behind Brentford in the form charts. But it is the same amount of points over those 6 games. But we have to caveat the 3-month gap in there. I will go to your guys' comments in just a second. But let's have a little look at the two teams. As always, this is the info goal projection. So apologies, sometimes you get a couple of centre midfielders kind of rotated, but in the main, they are right with these. Let's start with Brentford, and it is absolutely unchanged. Brian Mbeumo missed the game at Fulham. He had COVID, he self-isolated. We would see him normally on the right wing as an inverted winger coming in on his left foot, been very good for the Bees this season. But Thomas Frank goes by the old cliche of never changing a winning team. So it's Raya in goal. Look out for him trying to play out from the back. Look out for some pinged diagonals to the advanced fullbacks, Dalsgaard and Henry, who are going to take up positions up around that halfway line and try and peg West Brom back, but they do not want to leave it too open for those West Brom wide players. Pinnock and Janssen played Alexandra Mitrovic very nicely in the last game. They look a little bit more experienced with Janssen in there. Look out for Pinnock on the attacking set plays. Often don't watch the crowd. They'll go one way. Watch Pinnock. He'll go the other way. In midfield, Norgard will in the main sit. Look for a bit of rotation from Janssen and De Silva. Look out for the left foot of De Silva and some long range efforts. The idea is that they can go tight and these wide forwards can tuck in to let those fullbacks bomb on outside, and you get those big overloads with, 5 and 6 players advancing, looking to score that high percentage goal that Brentford have become famed for. Benrahma is the guy in this team. He's the man. He can win you the game if he plays well. Fosu, he started the last game. He's come in from Oxford. I suspect he'll have most of an hour in this one, and then Mbeumo will come in and make his return. That's a good sub to have on the bench. And Ollie Watkins finishes off the trio up top. Nice rotation up front as well in the last game all managed to switch positions. We know how Brentford are going to operate. We also know how West Brom are going to operate, and this looks like a strong 11 for them. Remember, Nathan Ferguson no longer. He is going to be leaving. The Baggies not going to sign a new contract. They're likely to end up in the Premier League with Crystal Palace and Roy Hodgson. But here is tonight's West Brom team. Sam Johnston in goal, experienced in the Championship with Villa and last year with West Brom as well. Big money as well. I think they paid for him. Ajayi and Hegazi. Ajayi making the step up from Rotherham, but doing a good job this season. Hegazi in their bit of experience. I know Bartley had played most of the season, but for my money, Hegazi was always going to come back in the Championship. He's a very, very strong defender. Gibbs, with all his Arsenal experience, and Furlong. The fullbacks, they're progressive, but they're not Henry and Dalsgaard of the other team. Livermore and Sawyers will sit. We have seen points of the season where Livermore has managed to have a bit more license and get forward. Sawyers is a classic deep line playmaker, so that is a well-balanced duo. Given the three in front of them, I wouldn't expect Livermore to have too much license going forward, and perhaps that defence needs a screen from the Brentford front three. I really like this three off the front. That is high quality for West Brom. Dean Garner back in the team. Great loan signing from West Ham. Watch him dribble. Watch his skill. Good player. Phillips, maybe not quite as tricky as Dean Garner, but watch the running power. Don't leave him space. If Rico Henry gets forward and leaves gaps there, Matt Phillips, it's kind of bang it ahead of you and chase after it a lot of the time. Strong player at this level. Good shooter as well. Goal threat there. But the guy there, the Ben Rama, let's just say, of West Brom, is Matthias Pereira in that number 10 position. Good player, good creative player. But like all good creative players, Pereira can do it whilst he's carrying the ball as well. Look for slide rule passes, reverse passes, dinks through whilst he's dribbling as well. That makes him a very dangerous player. He's been excellent. Just looking at some footage here on my feed, absolutely hammering it down there at Brentford. Pontus Jansson getting rained on quite heavily there. I assume that will be a passing shower because it's quite bright, but interesting conditions to say the least. I'm coming to your comments in a minute, guys. Keep them coming. How Robson-Kanu keeps his place up top there for West Brom. I think he's done really, really well to get in there. Let's just have a quick look at the benches before we go to your comments. For West Brom, we're their first Bond, O'Shea, Bartley, Harper, Kravinovic, strong bench, Robinson, Edwards, Zahor and Austin. Lots of options there, Zahor and Austin up the top. If he needs to go two up front or he needs to freshen up Robson-Kanu. Kravinovic can play in the 10, he can play in deep midfield. Harper can play off the front. Robinson and Edwards as well. I remember 5 subs. He could really, really make a lot of useful changes there. Brentford, not necessarily the riches of West Brom, but still Makocho can come in and sit. Valencia, he can come in and play any of those 3 off the front positions. Mark Condes, what a difference he made when he came on. Brian Mbuemo, we will definitely see him. Dervisoglu is an option up top. Jean-Vier has played a lot of games this season, and we have seen Thomas Frank go to a free at the back, so change of shape could happen there. Baptiste, he got time there. And Roslev, I believe, I've seen him play, I believe, is a fullback. Right, plenty of people in the chat. Let's have a little look here at some of the comments. iStar Light says, Charlie Austin playing? No, he is not. Robson-Kanu getting the star there. Austin, very, very dangerous customer. Off the bench, Elliot says, Benny boy, let the madness begin. Let's hope we're going to get some madness. Big, big game here. I'm seeing a montage of some brilliant goals by both teams as we go into the turbo break here on Sky. Matt says, big, big game. So much riding on this one, isn't it? West Brom can really put a big dent in that chasing pack. We say chasing pack. It's 2 of them chasing. Will one of them drop off this weekend with a defeat? Remember, if you're a Leeds or you're a West Brom fan, it is honestly a case of just don't lose. Shout out to Nick there in the chat. Ryan, I'm panicking, Ben. He says, Leeds, well, you're not playing till tomorrow, Ryan, so one of your direct rivals is losing points today. Do not start panicking. But yes, you can worry about Mr. Mitrovic and Mr. Kearney tomorrow. Roger, another Leeds fan in there. Nick back in Brentford there. Mark, who is a West Brom fan, I believe, semi-happy with the team. Feel that Phillips shouldn't be on as well as Kanu. Win, don't want to give a score. Michael, come on you bees. The Premier League deserves us. Remember, Romain Sawyers, I didn't mention that. Ex-Bees player, very well developed there with Dean Smith. Gone up a level with West Brom. A lot of responsibility on Sawyers there. Craig says Brentford 2-1. Gary, best side I've seen this season. West Brom fan. Albion, don't lose. They will go up automatically. It is the case, isn't it? West Brom and Leeds, just don't lose now and you'll be okay. But this goes against Bilic and Biel. I think Bilic, rather, would be better at being a bit pragmatic with 30 minutes to go at 0-0 or 1-1 and saying, okay, look, guys, fall back, just don't lose. I think West Brom can win the game, especially with Pereira and Diangana in that three off the front. Craig already, oh dear, talking about Leeds and Fulham. Leeds 95%, 25 shots. Mitrovic penalty on their only attack. Some foresight there tomorrow. El Loco for Leeds. Plenty of Leeds in the chat here. Very, very interested. Some watchers from Elland Road tonight in this game. I'm not surprised. They'll just take it as they comes. Let's have a West Brom win tonight. Ben, I'll go for a 2-0. Then a Leeds win tomorrow. To settle the nerves, again, if you're a Leeds and a West Brom fan, you just don't want victories for either Brentford and Fulham. And those games are ticking down, aren't they? Let's bring that table up one more time. I know you all know what it looks like, but even a draw, that gap stays at 7 points. Draws in both games, 7 points then with 7 to go. Any fan surely would have taken that at the start of the season, wouldn't they? Jaggy, lovely turn of phrase here. My butthole is looser than an ex-nun. More nervous Leeds fans. Bohan there. May have a link to watch the game there. I can't possibly comment on such things. There's Shaft. Hi, Ben. Oh, Shaft. Brilliant. Gave me a super chat yesterday, a donation. Thank you again, sir. I hope this is a draw and Leeds win tomorrow to calm the nerves. If Leeds lose tomorrow, my ticker won't be able to take it. If you are a Leeds fan, do you want both teams to drop points? Or do you want that West Brom win and the gap? I think most fans would probably want the West Brom win. Ewan says 3-1 Brentford. Dale, hard to call this game. More leads. So many leads in the chat. Hey, Sean, is he next up here? Oh, goodness me. Got loads. So we've got loads of comments here. I'm so sorry. I'm just scrolling up. There we go. Mally. Hey up, Ben. A draw tonight and a win tomorrow would make for a good weekend. More leads in the chat. LTFC, Don Ram. What am I saying for Swansea v Luton tomorrow? Oh, he's got LTFC in his avatar and he's got a Luton flag. I think Luton are conceding goals tomorrow. How tight can Luton keep it? I don't think they're going to shut Swansea out. I think Luton need to score 2 tomorrow to get any points at Swansea, let's just say. And he also adds 1-1, Phillips and Watkins. Lovely stuff. Alex is here in the chat. A lively 2-2. El Starlight UK, 3-1 Albion. We're quite mixed. Bailey says, why no Austin? You'd have to ask Slaven Bilic, but Robson Kanu generally, and we've seen this with Bamford at Leeds, haven't we? Where the player can play with his back to goal and bring players in, especially when you've got the likes of Pereira and Diangana who can score the goals for you. It seems that these managers with one up top do prefer an all-round forward rather than an outright number 9. Remember, Austin has done a lot of damage and you would back him to score, wouldn't you, if he does come on and get a chance. Locke, yes, confident. 4-1 Brentford. Train spotter asks me what he asks every time. Do I watch AFL on Quest? Mainly on Sky. Jaggy says, I need mods. Moderators, anyone wants to volunteer, DM me at Benjamin Bloom. Bailey says, I hate Brentford, but it may be nice to see a race up top with Brentford win. Perhaps Leeds can collapse. Bailey's going to be making lots of friends in the chat here with that. Sean quickly says, oh my goodness me, my freeze. Oh, it's frozen. Oh, I don't want to get done for copyright there. Let's Let's turn the sound down on that. I do apologise, everybody. We're about to go. Players coming out here. What have we got here? Sean says, "Hi Ben, glad to be back at the Championship. Can't watch or listen to Premier. Getting the old Leeds totally not needed nerves." There you go. Leeds fans nervous and they're not even playing. Deary me. There's a picture of Mr. Bielsa and a plug for tomorrow. Hip to the game. Says 2-2. Alex says, "Is Krissy injured? He was not on the bench. So one would have to assume so." There you go. Bielsa doesn't play for draws. We know what he's going to do. Just on that, about me covering some Premier League stuff, trying to do a bit of both while I can't get to any games. What I will say is if you ever see me covering a Premier League game, that does not mean there'll be less Championship stuff. I promise you. It just means I'm doing a bit extra. The Championship stuff will not drop down even if I do that. I Starlight UK, West Brom got the best manager for some time, possibly have. Roger, what am I going to talk about next season when Leeds go up? There'll be plenty to talk about. Don't you worry about that. Hopefully there'll be a bit more time. We might even be able to do some Premier League stuff and still talk about Leeds. There we go. 2 high scorers in the league, 0-0 from me, says Baggies fan. Wheelock, young team, Lugosi, best centre-back in the Championship, in my opinion. Right, we're going to a lovely montage of the Brentford Stadium here. So I'm assuming we're about to go to kick off in just a minute and we go to the turbo break. As it says, I'll be back at halftime and full time. Come and join the discussion on YouTube and Twitter. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. I know some people watch all the videos, but they don't actually subscribe. Please hit the subscribe button. Helps me out. Follow on Twitter. You can watch these streams, although YouTube is probably the better platform in terms of their playback machine. Right, as I say, when that whistle goes, I should be live within about 30 seconds, depending on how delayed my stream is watching here on my iPad. So halftime review, and then I'll be back at full time with a more detailed review. Please come back and join us for that. And a quick plug, if you want to contribute and donate to the channel, hit the super chat button on YouTube. You can also subscribe on Patreon as well. I said in my predictions yesterday, I think Brentford might be open and West Brom might be able to get a couple of goals in this one. But as a neutral, I would love an automatic promotion race. So this one could go either way. Lots of differences in the predictions here. So very, very open. I will see you all back at halftime. Come back. Do come and see me when Sky goes to a break. Come and get involved. You can have discussion here rather than just be talked at by whoever they got in the studio, Darren Moore, I think, today. So do come back at halftime. It is Brentford versus West Brom. Key game at the top of the Championship. It's Friday night. Go and get a beer or whatever you're drinking. Watch the game. Come back and join us at halftime. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the first half. See you in about 45, 50 minutes. Over and out.